Welcome back to another drawing tutorial session with Reduce Collect on the Paintology app, which is only available for Android users as of now, but that may change later on. So we're going to make a drawing. As you know, if you're new to this channel, you will know that I not typically, but I always draw on my phone, which is a Samsung phone, and I use a stylus, but you can use your fingers and anything like that. So the Paintology app is on, if you go to Google Play Store, you see here, I got the Paintology app already installed, so I'm just going to open that. Okay, so that's my app, and this is the home screen of the app. So if you're new to drawing and painting, you'll know that as a beginner, you may bring some of the old thinking of drawing from the traditional world, where as a youngster you saw other people draw well and you didn't draw as well, and you were wondering why that is, because there are good reasons for that. And as a youngster, you don't think what that entails, and but when you're an adult, you tend to have a better understanding what painting and drawing is about, and even more so when you actually engage in the pastime. So if you're a beginner, you will lack a lot of skills and a lot of abilities, but also that comes as a double-edged sword. It can come with the fact that you think you know a lot, but in reality you don't, just because you read up something. Like, for example, majority of digital art is done. You can tell it's always digital art, but would you be able to tell whether, if I'm going to show you something, whether this was done digitally, right? You're not, will you? And the reason for that is because I come from a traditional background in drawing and painting, and I'm able to apply these skills digitally, and I don't jump to all the tools like majority of people do. They have a certain expectation that there should be auto correction, filtering, blending, autofill, line correction and all that. And as a result, the digital art will never look like this, because this drawing is done by hand. And I also happen to draw way faster than most other digital artists who uses tools. I can challenge anyone who uses tools to do a particular drawing, and nobody has met that challenge yet. But they're used to the digital tools, which is not, they're not to really entirely blame, because there's no one showing them how to learn the important stuff of drawing and painting, which are art techniques, the very techniques that you enjoy so much when you watch your favorite YouTube artists take a blank canvas and with acrylics or oil turn it into a fantastic realistic drawing, right? Those are called techniques, the art techniques, and they don't come with the fact that you're going to use tools to do that, because if you do, you will become subservient to the tools, and you're not going to apply your own techniques. Techniques is far removed from just tools alone, okay? So keep that in mind. So a quick refresher is that all my daily tutorials, oops, so Paintology.com. I'm going to go to Paintology. Okay. And then when you get there, look at the daily step-by-step video tutorials button. Click on that, and you'll come to this page. This is the all-encompassing page that you should definitely bookmark. And this page contains the today's tutorial. You'll see here 16th November, block coloring of the Mona Lisa. So when you click on the reference image, you'll get the reference image for this drawing. And then you can see here loads of drawings I've done, including the completed drawings here. You can see here, including the completed drawings there. This is a black and white drawing I did a while ago. It all brings back memories. So the reference image for this is here. I'm going to download this. Today is we're going to make this. Oops, we've already downloaded it, so we don't have to worry about that. I've already got it downloaded. And then these are the streams, part 1 and part 2. 9 GMT, and it goes after an hour of that, goes to 10 GMT of the day. I usually have like 5-10 minutes break on this and allow you for you to catch up and join me in the 10 GMT session on Paintology, starting with 2 channels, Produce and Paintology, okay, separated. So I usually finish the drawing. I'd say I usually finish. I always finish the drawing no matter what. And I've made some pretty challenging drawings. Completed drawing. This is like, that wasn't so challenging, it was straightforward because of the Christmassy spirit coming up. All right, so that's one of the other is Quora, paintology.quora.com. So please do visit that. Follow me on that, yeah. I would appreciate it. And then you'll see everything dating back a few years, I think, on my drawing journey. You see the fox there I did here. This was using that reference image here. So you develop very important skills through block coloring. There's a Kandinsky, so the same. We're going to do very similar to this Kandinsky drawing that I did. And you see this also, we're going to use the same technique, blending. So trace is a wonderful method. The problem with the beginners is that they go, open up the app. I'll show you what I mean. Open up the app, they go dive straight into draw, blank canvas, start doodling, looking for their tools. And then if they can't find their tools, they're out of their rut, which is very unfortunate case because they're comparing this app with the other app, and this app does not attempt to emulate 1 second of the other app, and its other apps are nowhere near this app in terms of techniques it teaches you. So for example, tutorials, it's 800 tutorials with lots of videos associated with it. Take for example this one, right? It has a tutorial associated with it, which is this toggle button, and then it will take you through and watch the video.
Learning to draw digitally doesn't have to be
Yeah, see, and you can watch it.
automatically improving your
See?
at the fun of the real thing.
There you are. So you do exactly the same. All right, take the one, and then just use the line brush, and then zoom in. You can use the zoom here, and then it's too big, you just go like that. And this teaches you some very important skills of drawing, fundamental. You know, I don't know if you're able to do this or you struggle to do this even, but this will teach you a great way. That's why paint by numbers really helps you, and then you can save this and then resume later on. Okay, very easy. Right, my paintings, so you can resume the drawing as before, right? Not a problem. So in your My Paintings, and My Paintings has a lot of video guides that you can see, plenty of video guides too. These are all drawings done with the shade brush. So you can't draw like this, just tools alone. So you know that, and you don't want to fool yourself thinking otherwise. And the reason why you can draw like that is the art techniques, the very techniques that I've been teaching here since September on a daily basis. Okay, so I think that's all the stuff I want to show you. So please do support me because these are all offered free. The most of these are classes that most will expect a payment of some kind. You go to online digital courses, they will all ask for a payment of some kind. So here you're lucky you're being taught our techniques while it's free. So I can only keep this going for a while unless I get some more support from you guys. So I do appreciate all the support you've given me. We've actually yesterday crossed the 200,000 subscriber base of the Paintology channel, all thanks to you. So I appreciate it, and so let's dive in now. Okay, draw, and then trace, and then here's that image. There's that lovely image of the Mona Lisa, one of the most world's famous paintings done by Leonardo da Vinci. You've probably heard of him. His name crop up all the time. So I was practicing yesterday thinking how I'm going to tackle this drawing, and I had probably a good idea. I'm going to use two brushes, line, no, actually two brushes, the charcoal brush, and you don't have to use charcoal brush, and the line, and then the shade brush. So I'm going to do block coloring. I mean, I've done some real good examples of block coloring. You'll find if you go to paintology.com and to the blog section, there's many articles there to keep you entertained for several days and weeks. Is articles posted in detail about drawing in general, and you can read about block coloring and also the paintings I've done by Constable, the Haywain, and the Monets, the fields. I don't know what it was called, something about the willow fields or something. And then I've also done portraits like Will Smith and that. So there's plenty to keep you happy, and they of course explain how the process works. So block coloring, think of it like supercharged paint by numbers. And what I mean by this is that, let's say if you were to draw, let's say if this came as a paint by numbers, the face would be divided into, let me go here, pick a color here. Alright, so notice that color that came up when I used the color picker. Okay, so let's go a little bit darker. And let's say if we were to do block coloring, the face might have this paint by numbers, another color there, another there, another there, and then a color here, color there, color here, and then the nose here. You see what I'm saying? The block coloring, paint by numbers would be like this. Okay, and then you would color this color here, this, that, that, and then this, then that. You'd have all these sections for numbering because of the different shades, yeah? And then the lips here, all these, right? You'd have that. But in block coloring, we have the ability, if you can't zoom up further than this, click on the stay, do a long press on the zoom, and you'll be able to zoom in. So block coloring means we're going to pick our own region for coloring. Essentially, we pick our own regions. We don't use the regions constrained to the regions of the paint by numbers. You know, this could be 1, 2, 3 different colors, and this may be the same color as this, 4 and 4. You don't know. You know what I'm saying. So these are based around tones. Okay. So block coloring is way more powerful than this, and I'm going to show you how it works. So this is my drawing. You can see here. I'm doing a drawing paint by numbers, and this is the reference image. So this half is, think of this half owned by the reference image. What I mean is that this half allows you to use the color picker of the reference. Okay, here I picked a color here, and then I picked a color there. It's a bit darker, can you see there? And then I pick another color here, it's another tone, and then I pick another tone here, different tone. You see what I'm saying? So these are the colors you pick from that. And when you pick those colors, say for example, I pick this color, I'm able to draw on that, okay, of that color that I picked, and it will be a close match to that color. But as you go towards the edge of the face, you'll notice like here, it's a different color, right? And I picked a different color of the face, yeah? So I can pick my own regions. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select my brush. Don't worry about density hardness. And then I'm just going to I'm going to find a good brush size, 5-6%, and then use this color picker to color my own regions. I'm not going to bother with 4 and then use the 4 color like this, and then bother with number 2, which is I pick the color and do that. I'm going to pick my own region depending on where I believe the color change is, and that really expands your ability in thinking about tones. You see here, you can keep it very tight and constrained. See how it got dark because of the eyebrow here. I'm not too worried about the details of the eyes just yet. This is a common mistake made by beginner artists. They feel that they should get this right first time, and that's been their biggest stumbling block. If you look at any drawing, you will know that the first half is crude. First half of any great artist is very crude. They've got nothing in detail, and the reason is they're building up details, and they don't need layers like some of you digital artists thinks you need layers. I haven't used layers. So notice what I'm doing. I'm using the color picker to pick those darker edges on the edge of the face, and then I'm bringing out these lighter colors of the face. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. Look. So you can see here the tones change. You know, if you use a different, see how the tones have changed? It gets lighter close to the eyes and then darker again. So I'm using very simple strokes to get an approximation of the blending that's going on at the same time. Right? So I'm just dabbing, and I'm paying more attention to the face only because the face is the most important piece for this drawing, isn't it? Come on, you have to admit, it's not her clothes, it's got to be the face, right? There, can you see I'm just using this small brush to get the tones, and you know it's going to be dark if I pick that. And I can't use that all over the face because I'll be doing something wrong, yeah? So just pick the colors. So 5.5%, and then just dab the colors on the face. Let's spend a little bit more time on the face, okay? You can see here, all these colors, by clicking on it, I'm getting all these tones from the reference image and applying it to my drawing. That's all I'm doing. I mean, there's nothing complex about that. If you find it hard to still comprehend, do let me know in the comments so I can better word it. Right, so this is supercharged paint by numbers. We're not constrained by the line. Like, for example, this paint by numbers would allow us to go pick one color and just do that, okay? Like that, and fill that area, okay? That's the color we would have. Now look what we do when we have block coloring. Take a look at the eyebrow. Now look what we do when we have block coloring method. I can see minute tones here, and then another darker tone here, and another lighter tone, and then another tone there, and a little bit of a darker tone there. Look at that. That has 4 tones as opposed to the one color in the block coloring. That's the difference. It allows you to really improve your tonal understanding. I'm not going to go into some of the people who say you shouldn't use trace or something. This kind of nonsensical talk comes from people who don't know how to draw, or paint. They don't think that developing skills is important to drawing. Just they feel rote learning is the best way. And you can go rote learning. I'm not stopping you. You can follow their advice, but it will take you multiple times longer to acquire the skills that I'm showing you. And I can make photorealistic drawing relatively easily without the aid of the trace brush, yeah? And you can see it on my videos. You're happy to see it. There's a lot I've done. I haven't been doing it lately because I've been just busy with showing you techniques. But if you have an idea for a freehand photorealistic drawing, you have something in mind, do let me know. I'll see if I can do that and then put a video or even do it in the live stream. Yeah, why not? It won't be interesting for you doing in the live stream because I'm not targeting people who are going to boost my ego. I'm targeting people who want to learn drawing. You're not going to learn anything with that. If I were to pick the tones by myself without the trace, because you don't know what tones I picked and why I picked them, right? You just wouldn't know, would you? I mean, it's not. That's why a lot of people who have art channels, people they like doing realistic, they will never do it themselves. Until now, of course, because you've got the ability to pick up your phone like I'm doing right now and just simply draw. They are the ones who like watching other people create art. And there's a lot of people who come and watch me draw, but they fail to realize that it's actually showing you how to get good at it. I'd encourage everyone, with the world as it is now, I want to encourage everyone to learn to draw because everyone's got the phone and they're consumed by their social media. And it's so nice to take some time out and just draw. I mean, I know a lot of people play games as well, but I believe drawing is one of the most fruitful things of the mind. That's the reason why a lot of people do it, and I never tire. Even though I've done one drawing, have three drawings a day, I never tire of it. It just gets, and when you think you've learned a lot, you'll always surprise yourself. That's the other thing that I have when I'm drawing. And any skills that I try to master is any skills that I master is I always keep my mind open to possibilities. We've done everything. What do you think? Have I done the eyes? Have we done that? No, we haven't done this bit here. So these are tones happening here, and I'm picking these tones. You may think that I picked the same tone, but you'll be surprised. Look at the subtle difference of the tones. All right, let's do another one. Here it's more easier. It's dark here, right, and dark there, and more dark here, and then here, and then it gets lighter and very light. Yeah. Oops. I've got to change that. Zoom function always comes here. Right there. Can you see all the tones that I picked up here? Lovely, isn't it? Here, look. Look at that. Different variations of the tone, and there are much more gradients of that tone. This is what all the good artists are good at, the tones. And they have to mix colors in the traditional, but in the world of digital, we have our color picker. That saves the day, you know? Wonderful. That's what we've got so far, right? So let's go ahead and I'm going to focus on the head, yeah, for this first part of our drawing. And let's zoom in. If you pinch zoom and it stops, hold on to the zoom function here, and it will keep zooming, right? There. Look at that. So we're gonna try and reduce the brush. Rule of thumb, always half the brush size. Yeah, so we're going to go 2.5%, right? About there. And then we're gonna go here and then pick the colors here. And then I'm gonna show you a nice tool. You click this left button here and you go between the mid positions, so it allows you to pick the color picker of the reference image and then see your complete drawing to see if you've rendered it correctly, okay? And any areas you need to address. Okay, got it? There. And here you can see here. And then there's the color there that we haven't addressed. And then any areas you think that, and it's a pretty small brush size. Right here. Okay, got it. Then go here, pick that color, and then see if we've got that color. And then, oops, I picked my own color. And then here's something I'm going to do, another very important thing I'm doing. Now I'm going to go all the way to the reference, okay? And now I'm going to go back and see that? Do you see that? I'm now going to the reference, not the midway point, where our drawing gets merged with the reference image, and it's difficult to see how we should render our drawing. See that? That is way too big. Can you see that? The eyebrow is way too big. So I'm going to pick this color and then just render that. And then I'm going to pick this color, just render that like that. And then I notice that this color is like that. So I'm trying to manage and get the, the right shape and form, okay? That's all I'm looking for, right shape and form. Using this wonderful tool here, right? This really will increase. I'm itching to do actually a photorealistic drawing again. It's about time that I put my additional skills in display again. What do you think? See, the brush is a little big for those dimensions that we're doing, right? But still, nevertheless, we can pull it off. So now you can see this is a lighter brush that goes across the eye, and then we don't have to use a pixel, otherwise we get into an area of drawing that is hyper realistic. And I'm not very keen on hyperrealism, to be honest with you. Look at the different shades going on under there. Look at that, wonderful. Right, I believe we've got a little bit of colour. There's too dark here, so right there. These are the attention to detail that Leonardo da Vinci paid when he drew the Mona Lisa. But he did something even more important, which I'm going to show you in the next step, part 2 of this drawing. See, that's way too long. That area is way too broad, so we're going to lower it with these tones, and then I'm going to lower that, and then we're going to bring this color. Can you see it? There's another tone there, and then some white, showing the real marks. He studied anatomy, although not from a scientific point of view, more of a drawing exercise. Okay, look at that, the other eye's gone totally out of whack. So we're going to do the same thing, back and forth from our drawing, and now we have much better control of these very important features. Remember what I said about drawing the Mona Lisa? It's all about the face, and you can't deny that. That's the face that the most, the most observed face on the planet, I would say, in the entire history, right? I don't think even Michael Jackson was probably as popular as Mona Lisa. See these colors I'm picking out? They're getting these shapes. This is very important what you're learning here. It's getting shapes. And this is exactly what I do when I'm doing photorealistic drawings. That's really, in essence, what photorealism is about. And, if I do it with the trace or without the trace, I can do it, no problem. But the important thing is that I'm picking up the essential tones for this and the approximate right shape. You see that? It's quite solid here. There. And then on the left here, that's a little too big, so we're going to tone that down. There. And see sort of a greenish, hazy tone, and then followed by bright yellow. Let's do that, okay? I mean, you have to do justice to this painting. After all, it is the most important painting on the planet. It's considered priceless. People say you could never sell it, and if you did, God knows what the price would be. It set world records. When Sunflower was sold so many years ago, I thought that was the biggest, at that time, one of the biggest auction. I think it sold for like $60 million about 40 years ago, something like that. Ridiculous. Okay. See this beautiful tones. Tones are everything. in drawing. Look at that. And once we got that, look, did we get that right? Or did we get out of shape? Look at that, slightly out of shape. So we need to push that. Right, we're going to make sure the darker edges there. We got it in shape now. So we got that. Now let's go to her lips while we're zoomed in, right? And the nose. These are all important. Yeah, so we're going to go pick that. And then if you want to get this shape, get back to just above the midpoint, okay? And then pick these colors. It's such a smaller brush. It's not quite the smallest of the smallest. Okay. And then just lay down some of the colors which will be better matched with these. At this brush size, okay? That's all I'm doing. And then what we'll do is we'll move out again, just like we did. Yeah, there. And then see that how much dark we've missed here? So now this is our ability to there. And then pick these colors, quite white. Not white, but you know what I'm saying. Right there. So our job is to render the closeness of Mona Lisa to the best way possible. Right? Don't know if it's that big, but let's see what we have here. And then we can use the other method I told you. Right? See, if we're going to position this color, then let's go here, right? And then I need to position this at the lower chin, right? Just about. Now I'm ready to look at the whole screen and render the colors right there. And then there's definitely white there, not that. Otherwise we'll think she's got a sore on her, sort of a red tinge there. And then here you can see this very bright here, look. Okay, so just put that there, very bright. Okay, just want to get all these sort of right, isn't it? Right, and then even pick these colors. You see that? So this is really expanding your knowledge of tones, all right? See that? I don't know if this was a very good digital rendition when someone took the photo, but the important thing is that we get our painting right to the best of our ability. So we've done the nose and lips. Let's take a good look at what she looks like. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's very good in terms of what we've done, right? See there, you can see that's not the right color. If it is, then you can probably go take a good look, pick that colors, and then see what. And you can see here, this is a bit of a lighter color, okay? And then here you can see there's a little bit of muscles, the same elements that we have on our face, and then we want to capture this Mona Lisa to the best of our ability. Okay. See the nose there? We haven't quite done it, even though we've done what we could, but we haven't quite rendered. I also noticed something yesterday. She doesn't have eyebrows, which was quite interesting. Like, today most people would keep their eyebrows, but she doesn't have it. Perhaps there was something Da Vinci said to her to take off, something, I don't know. Right? So we're focusing on getting the face, okay? So I think we got a really good face. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to really swiftly do the head and do the rest of the painting, okay? So I'm going to increase the brush size. And then I'm going to take that down so I have a little bit more control over the color. So I'm going to take it to 670%. And I'm not going to explain exactly what I'm doing. But what I'm doing is, by doing this, I'm actually applying more tones. And so giving it not a flat, but more of a realistic color. I'm still using the color picker, but I'm giving it the impression. Don't worry about these. The important thing is that you're now looking at these stones, and at the same time you're improving your drawing strokes. You see here? So I'm just going to finish all of this in one. So at least we can say we've finished this drawing. See what I'm doing? I'm just selecting the color tones that appears there, and then I'm not worried about it. You could say this is like something that an artist would do you must have seen it. So now what you have here is, you've seen all these wonderful artists with their traditional. Now you have the ability to do it this right on your phone. Remember, this is a Samsung Note phone 10 phone that I'm using. It's got like 6.4 inch of size image. Right? This is going over, but don't worry about it. Just go over, because you've got the other, this bit too. Okay, got this bit. So that's all I'm doing. I'm laying down the first wash, if we can call it that. Every artist has done that. Bob Ross, and this is a good size, 13. Let's see what we've got so far. See, getting all the rest of the drawing. And that's what we're going to do. Spend 5 minutes just going through that. And I say 5 minutes because I'm used to drawing, you're not. So I expect you to come back again, and if you like this, carry on. Look, I'm picking these wonderful background colors. I don't know what it is, but she's obviously, Da Vinci picked the background because he felt it was, was fitting for this image, right? The Mona Lisa, right? I can't imagine the amount of history that's gone in behind the subject of this woman. And there's been a countless number of songs. Nat King Cole, Mona Lisa, right? You've heard it, right? Then even movies. Alright, so that's all I'm doing. Just picking the colors and getting approximate tones of the background. Right there. Not too worried about the detail, just seeing the different colors, the light color here, and then somehow it gets a little darker here, right there. So that's all I'm doing in trace mode. And this is an excellent way for you to acquire the skills, drawing and tonals. This is all I'm doing, just laying down the first tones. And I'm not finished yet, because in the next part we're going to get it as close as possible to that majestic face of Mona Lisa, isn't it? And then I'm going to show you how that's done. These are white tones here. Don't know what's going on. Someone's trying to get hold of me. Sorry about the background sound. We'll be done in a minute. And then you can increase the brush size to get the largest expanse of space. And then when we get to the hands, we'll be a little bit closer, right? Right, there you are. Oops, what happened? Okay, so let's save this in case some weirdness happens, right? Because I am working on a prototype. Yep. Alright. See here, I'm going very quickly because I want my 5-10 minutes break as well. I'm sure you do as well. Okay. Do the large areas, okay? Really quickly. And then we can zoom in with a smaller brush. Still retain the same density and hardness settings, which is approximately 70%. Don't worry about that. Remember, it's the most important thing is your face, and everything else is just a little bit decoration. Still using the color picker to get. I just want a sort of a semi-complete drawing that you're not going to say, you're not going to not leave and say, that was crap or not good enough, for me. And then you go back to your other YouTube artists and prefer to watch them draw and paint. But remember, you're witnessing something that's not done in YouTube, which is drawing on the phone like I'm doing, trying to create something new. Let's see what we have. It's not bad, is it? Eh? I'm quite happy with that. But let's fix the areas. Let me save that and then open it up again. Remember, I'm working on a prototype. Okay, I'm gonna now just go over, pick the colors and fill those areas that I have quite. See those marks that are left with white? Let's take the habit of just coloring them in. picking the color picker again. Okay. Quite a thick brush. So it's, by all means, it's not. You can tell he's spent less time, but more time on the face. Remember, this is it's a wonderful creation, the human being. You know, with all its silly Billy, with all its problems, right? With all its vulnerabilities, still something we admire because we are the only creatures that have the ability to reason, isn't it? Even with all this reasoning, there's still conflicts, you know? Yeah, this one is quite dark, so I'm gonna right there, it's quite dark, so just putting these colors. Look at these wonderful colors. This is her left hand go overlapping. Uh, Look at that color. Actually, a lot darker, right? Look at that there. Alright, let's see what we've got here. We've got a pretty good thing going here. And then I'm going to just color this here. And then I'll show you in the next, we're out of time actually. I'm going to show you how to blend everything. You know, we've got the face pretty good. It's a pretty decent if you can ignore some of the background that I've done here. Okay. So then the next step, part 2, we will make it more much better. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Please subscribe, and I'll see you shortly in the second part of the drawing. So enjoy your break. Thank you.